Sister Wives star Kody Brown's kids have finally broken their silence, and what they're revealing is far more explosive than anything the show ever aired. From Gabriel's heartbreaking final boundary, to Ysabel's fear of losing her father forever, to Leon's devastating accusation that stunned the entire family, every confession exposes a new fracture Kody can't walk back from. But the real shock. One child says the feud is now beyond repair, while another hints a major reconciliation twist is coming that could rewrite everything we thought we knew about the Browns. Stay with me, because the last revelation will leave you speechless. What Sister Wives star Kody Brown's kids have said about their feud. Gabriel Brown. For Gabriel Brown, it was far too late for Dad Kody Brown to say sorry. Initially at odds over Kody's intense COVID restrictions, they continued to keep their distance even as stay-home orders began to lift. Kody's issue, recounted Janelle Brown, who shares sons Logan Brown, Hunter Brown, Garrison Brown and Gabriel as well as daughters Madison Brush and Savannah Brown, with the patriarch, was that he felt his kids hadn't been loyal to him and his rules. He kept phrasing it like I owed him an apology, Gabriel detailed to Janelle in an October 2024 episode of Sister Wives. Eventually I was just like, hey, unless you're, like, actually ready to have a relationship and fix things, then we're not going to talk anymore. He came back a couple of days later and texted me. He's like, hey, I've been, like, thinking about what you've been saying. I forgive you, please forgive me. I was like, forgive me for what? So tight with his dad he used to accompany him on business trips, he remains confused about what he did. But, he noted to Janelle, I told Dad that if he doesn't change and he can't take accountability, then I just won't ever see him again. And I'm perfectly okay with that. Ysabel Brown. Kody may have meant for his love to be multiplied, but his time with his 18 kids has definitely been divided. Which is why Ysabel Brown feared that when David Woolley married mom Christine Brown in 2023, he might fully take over the role her father once played in her life. I worry, a tearful Ysabel shared in a confessional on a November 2024 episode, that my dad and the chance of having a really close relationship with my dad is slowly going away. Not that she didn't appreciate David as a stepdad. He comes off as a very present dad with his children, so I mean, how lovely would that be, right? She noted. So I would love to have a relationship that is as amazing with my own father. And she's still holding out hope, admitting in a November 2025 episode, my dad and I aren't like, close, 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 close. Still, why she thought of Christine as both mom and dad, she wouldn't call her relationship with Kody, who refused to fly cross-country when she had back surgery mid-pandemic, non-existent. I mean, he's still my dad, she insisted, and I love him. Paedon Brown. If Kody had his way, Paedon Brown, one of Christine's 6 kids, wouldn't say much of anything about him. Speaking with YouTuber John Yates in January 2023, Paedon recalled receiving an, out of the blue, phone call from his dad. It's like an hour-long conversation and it goes really, really well, he recounted. And I'm like, okay, I might be getting my father back. This is wonderful. Then he called his mom. Talking to Christine, also mom to Aspen Thompson, Mykelti Paedon, Gwendlyn K. Ross, Ysabel and Truly Brown, Paedon learned that Kody had been working to convince producers not to let his children trash him, trying to put it in our contracts that we are not allowed to say anything negative about him on our platforms. But it was a deal he couldn't close. My mom was like, "No, you're not allowed to tell our children what they can and can't say about you. You have to earn their love back," explained Paedon. And I realized he didn't call me because he wanted to talk to me. He called me because he doesn't want me talking negatively. Gwendlyn K. Ross. Admittedly, Gwendlyn doesn't fully recognize the Kody that parents his 5 kids with wife Robin Brown. It hurts so much to see him be a good father to others when I didn't really get that much, she acknowledged in a February 2023 YouTube video of watching him with youngest children Solomon Brown and Ariella Brown. And while she's happy they get an active father, she noted, "I don't remember coming home from kindergarten or anything and seeing my dad being happy that I ate all my lunch, or that I made a friend at school." That being said, she was still willing to play nice. In a January 2023 YouTube video she labeled their relationship as very flip-floppy. "In person, my dad's sweet to me now," noted Gwendlyn, who invited Kody and Robin to her and Beatrice K. Ross's July 2023 wedding. "We had our differences in the past, but we're getting better. And since we're not around each other as much, we can't really be angry with each other as much." But when she tunes into the Sunday night episodes, she added, "I do tend to dislike him a little bit. And I just have to remind myself that he's going through a difficult time and it's just hard on everybody and, you know, he's still my dad and he's still kind to me." Mykelti Paedon. One of the few Brown kids who was still close to both Robin and Kody and Christine and Janelle, Mykelti took on the role of peacekeeper during Kody's 3 divorces. But in the years since, she seems to have resigned from Team Kody, giving her take on the rift months after she and husband Tony Paedon made the move to North Carolina with their 3 children. "I think that if he took more accountability in any of his actions, his kids, maybe not all of them, but at least some of them, would reach out," she noted during an October 2024 fan Q&A shared on the Instagram account @withoutaCrystalball. Instead of blaming the children, or blaming how they feel about his relationship with his other wife or blaming the parents or blaming gossip or whatever, if he just said, "Look, I understand I did blank wrong. I'm sorry. Can we talk about it?" I feel like that would go such a long way. As for his stance that he shouldn't need to beg his children to repair their relationship, she wasn't having it. "No matter what happens between myself and my kids, I would always sit outside that door, knock, apologize and ask, and ask, and ask, and just continue to try to do whatever I could to make that relationship stronger," the mom of 3 insisted, before referencing Kody's claim that his former wives had metaphorically stabbed him in the back. "I feel like that's what you do as a parent. Sometimes you just have to take the knife in the kidney, get over it, and apologize." Leon Brown. A message worth interrupting their peace. Leon Brown has largely avoided the spotlight since their sister wives' days. But Mary Brown's only child felt compelled to break their social media hiatus to address Kody's recent claim that he'd reached out to all of his kids, multiple times, and that if they don't have a relationship with him, it's because they're not reciprocating. But Leon insisted there's no missed calls on their cell. "There's a ridiculous video of my father circulating where he says he reaches out to his children," they wrote on their Instagram stories in November 2025. Noting they hadn't heard from Kody since brother Garrison's March 2024 death by suicide, Leon added, "Kody blatantly blew me off at Garrison's funeral. He is a liar. He is a joke of a father. That's all." Madison Brush. When it comes to her complicated relationship with her dad, Maddie isn't solely concerned with protecting her heart. "I am open to reconciliation and forgiveness and closure," she shared on the November 30, 2025, episode of the TLC series after welcoming fourth child Amelia in March 2025. But if her father wanted to fully be let into the life she shares with husband Caleb Brush and kids Axel, Evie, Josephine and Amelia, there would need to be a pattern of consistency. And judging by her scathing October 2025 social media rebuke, she's still waiting. Sharing an inspirational quote to her Instagram stories about carefully deciding what is worth your energy, Maddie explained how she was able to reach that point. As she wrote in a DM to one follower looking for tips, "Your dad's saying lies about you for the entire world to hear teaches it to you real quick." Her main issue, she noted on a 2024 episode of her The Authentic Society podcast, was that he doesn't have any respect for boundaries. "And you have to play by his rules. And I just don't care to do that." Now I will uncover about Sister Wives Season 20, all the revelations. Janelle Brown is considering a spiritual divorce from ex-Kody Brown. Officially done with former husband Kody Brown, and his nice pecs and six-pack abs, Janelle Brown revealed in Sister Wives Season 20 opener that she's borrowing a page from Mary Brown's playbook. Never legally entwined to Kody during their 29-year marriage, "I had sort of thought about a spiritual divorce a long time ago and didn't even realize it was an option," the patriarch's second wife detailed on the September 28 premiere. "And so when Mary got one, I'm like, oh, hey, Mary, who do I call?" And her former sister wife, who was granted a spiritual release from their former church on the grounds of abandonment, was more than happy to fill in some blanks. Said Janelle, "She has been kind of helping me get in touch with everybody. Madison Brush would like to reconcile with Dad Kody Brown." Madison Brush is still working through the sins of her father. Amid her ongoing estrangement from Dad Kody, Madison, the second oldest of his and Janelle's 6 kids, admitted on the September 28 episode that she's still struggling with the separation. "You want your dad to show up," the mother of 4 shared in a confessional alongside husband Caleb Brush. "You want reconciliation. I know I played a part and I'm angry because I'm still trying to learn to not be disappointed. It's a lesson she's struggling to master. I'm still learning how to just see him for who he is," she noted. "I'm trying to understand that maybe he didn't know how to show up. He might be hurting. He also might not be willing to cede too much ground." Kody stressed his desire to have healing with Mary, Janelle, third wife Christine Brown and their children, explaining, "I think we're in an impasse here because this healing can only happen on their terms only." Kody Brown has this concern about his sex life with wife Robyn Brown. To hear Kody's fourth and sole remaining wife Robyn Brown tell it, "She always wanted the family, not just the man. I had marriage proposals," she revealed on the September 28 episode. "Not necessarily an on bended knee situation," she noted, "just different men at different times said, 'You know, I'd marry you in heartbeat.'" Her response never wavered. "I was just like, well, I plan to live a plural marriage." And had Kody been single when he pursued her, rather than a devoted family man with 3 wives, I would have said the same thing to you. But now that they find themselves as unintentional monogamists, asserted Kody, "It's you and me, baby." Though he admittedly had one concern. "There's something I want maybe more than you do," Kody told Robyn, alluding to their sex life. The way he saw it, Kody continued in a confessional, "A polygamist is getting more than he wants and a monogamist isn't getting enough." Mary Brown reveals an ex broke up with her over her polygamous past. Throwing herself into dating, Mary knows precisely what she's looking for in a man. "In addition to a tall guy, super important for me is to find somebody who wants to travel with me," the avid road tripper explained in the October 5th episode. "And also must not have cats. Must love dogs. And she definitely needs someone who won't scare easily. There was a guy that I was talking to," she detailed of one of her more troubling dating adventures. "Once he discovered she was a polygamist, he was like, 'I can't continue talking to you. This is not something that I'm even interested in or open to," she shared. "And it was very hurtful to me. Because I was a polygamist, you're not interested in pursuing a relationship with me." For Mary, she continued, "It was like my first real big realization that that's going to inhibit some people from even wanting to start talking to me." Janelle Brown thinks no one else really wanted to live on Coyote Pass. Janelle is convinced she was the only member of her sprawling fam who truly wanted to land on Coyote Pass. Discussing the family's standoff over the 14-acre property they purchased ahead of their 2018 move to Flagstaff, Aries, Janelle admitted on the October 3rd episode, "I'm not actually sure I ever had the dream of us all being out on Coyote Pass. Because while Kody's second wife could imagine herself settling out there, it's a beautiful piece of property, why not?" She alleged that it was more of a passing phase for her ex and his other brides. "Nobody really wanted to live out there," she said, adding that Christine definitely didn't and Mary would have obliged, if everybody else had done it. As for Kody and Robin, they had a house that was pretty much there without being there on the property, Janelle surmised of the 2-acre, 5-bedroom spread they have since sold for $1.7 million. So as much as they all howled over the land they initially split into 4 separate parcels, said Janelle, "I just could see very soon after we moved to Flagstaff that that was not going to be a thing." Why Kody Brown thinks he has a strained relationship with most of his adult kids. Kody has a theory about why his bonds with the majority of his adult kids, save for Robin's eldest Paedon, Aurora and Brianna, are kinda garbage. "I think most of the relationships between me and my adult children are strained," he acknowledged on the October 5th episode. "It's an issue of trash talk and innuendo, and it has challenged loyalties and trust on all sides. And these days, not many of his grown kids are on Team Kody." Though Mykelti Paedon, one of his 6 children with Christine, had been the most outwardly supportive of her father, months after she and husband Tony Paedon made the move to North Carolina with their 3 children, she gave her take on the rift. "I think that if he took more accountability in any of his actions, his kids, maybe not all of them, but at least some of them, would reach out," she noted during an October 2024 fan Q&A shared on the Instagram account @WithoutACrystalBall. Instead of blaming the children, or blaming how they feel about his relationship with his other wife or blaming the parents or blaming gossip or whatever, if he just said, "Look, I understand I did blank wrong. I'm sorry. Can we talk about it?" I feel like that would go such a long way. Janelle Brown admits she would have taken half of Kody Brown's assets. With the April 2025 sale of Coyote Pass, Janelle and Mary walked away from their marriage to Kody with a nice parting gift. Christine had already signed over her portion of the land in exchange for keeping the proceeds from the sale of her Arizona home. As Janelle joked to Mary on the October 5th episode, "It was A nice way to just be like, see you later. Hope I never see you again. Goodbye. But she certainly wouldn't have waved off an even nicer present. Had she been legally married to Kody, she noted, she absolutely would have taken half of his assets, because it would have been half mine. Kody Brown agreed to sell Coyote Pass for this reason. Before Kody and Robyn agreed to close the door on their Coyote Pass dreams, they had to open, not a window, but the contract on their new $2.1 million manse. After months of going back and forth with his exes about unloading the massive property, selling Coyote Pass became a reality for us, Kody detailed in the October 12th episode, only when we discovered we really wanted this other house. The dad of 18 is also eager to unload the bad memories of their previous home. We've experienced a lot of heartache here, he posited. And we want a new beginning, something different, something new. Why Kody Brown feels he failed at plural marriage. Though Kody felt his love should be multiplied, committing to 4 different wives, his attention wasn't divided all that equally. I felt like I was devoted to our family and to plural marriage, but then I struggled to be devoted specifically to every single wife and vice versa, he reasoned on the October 19th episode. I don't think the wives were devoted to me or to each other as a whole. Among his missteps, he guessed, was setting up Robyn in her $1.65 million, 5-bedroom Flagstaff home while other spouses were making do with less. I don't know what went wrong, he said of ending his unions to marry Janelle and Christine, but I know that I stirred up a jealousy putting her in this house. My wives, in whatever way, couldn't handle that I was willing to fight so much to make sure that Robyn was safely kept. Christine Brown says it was a lot of work, being married to Kody Brown. For Christine, it was hard to take it easy with Kody. We were married to a guy that was a lot of work, she mused on the October 26th episode. He had a lot of things that he liked and a lot of specifics, like certain dietary restrictions, his grooming and things like that. Bottom line, she noted, it was a lot. Enough that Janelle isn't exactly looking to multiply her love after their split. I think maybe Kody was a lot of work, she told Christine and her now husband David Woolley. So I think that a relationship must be really hard. Which is why she's so resistant to David's urges for her to sign up for Farmers Only, telling cameras, David just can't handle that I'm just not going to go date because I'm like, dude, no. Christine Brown says Kody Brown sometimes called her by the wrong name. Kody was quite careful not to call his wives every name in the book. Kody would rarely slip up and call us the wrong name, Christine insisted in the November 2nd episode. There's certain moments you don't want to hear another woman's name. You know those moments that I'm talking about. Never happened, though there were some close calls. I would catch myself a lot, Kody admitted. And I've certainly done it. I had a way of starting it sometimes and then pivoting. Christine Brown felt betrayed by Robyn Brown. To hear Christine tell it, she felt quite stabbed in the kidney by her former sister wife. I feel betrayed by Robyn, she detailed to David on the November 2nd episode. I felt like I could never really trust her, ever. The issue, she explained to cameras, is that she would tell her things that I thought were in confidence and then I'd get in trouble for them and Kody would get mad. I can't trust her, so I stopped confiding in her. But Robyn insisted she was just trying to play marriage counselor. Christine would say to me, I wish Kody would know this. I wish Kody would understand this. I'm struggling with this, she explained. Me being kind of a naive fool. I thought I could help, but I should have just stayed out of it completely. Janelle Brown revealed her first years of marriage with Kody Brown were hard. Though Janelle still feels the family had something special, that spark wasn't apparent early on. There were things that happened, especially that first year or two, that I kind of wish he would have stood up for me as much as he maybe, by default, sort of took the other position, Janelle explained, not so subtly referring to her and Mary's rocky relationship. So, add that to the fact that there was a lot of jealousy and insecurity and stuff that we were working through, and it just was not good. Pregnant with her eldest Logan Brown less than a year into marriage while Kody worked as a traveling salesman, his time at home was limited, Janelle reflected. As such, she learned to just keep the peace, and I lost a lot of my identity. If this breakdown opened your eyes to what's really happening inside the Brown family, hit like so YouTube knows you want more. Drop a comment with which confession shocked you most. Your voice keeps this community strong. Subscribe and turn on notifications because we're diving deeper into exclusive updates, unseen dynamics, and the next wave of family revelations. And don't stop here. Watch the related videos and playlists linked below to follow every twist in the Sister Wives universe.